Hi everyone, my name is Yakshmi Priya and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm starting a new sketchbook and I'm so excited to start it, but at the same time, we all know when you look at a blank page or a new book and you got to start on that first page, you feel a little intimidated. And I felt the same way when I looked at this book, but then I decided I did a sketch in another sketchbook that I have of something that I've actually never tried before, and it's actually a surreal painting and it has a lot of different elements in it and everything is combined, and that's something I've never tried before, and I was actually always wanting to do it, but I just never had the courage to do it because you need to have courage in order to try something out, and I was so scared that I'm going to mess it up or it's not going to look good, so I ended up never trying it. But then this time when I took out this new sketchbook and I said, I want to create a page at the beginning on the cover, just to create, when you in the inside cover, just to create this world of my artwork that I'm going to create, and create this world that you go into when you look at the sketchbook. So I decided that was the idea I had when I went into the sketching for this one. It's a surreal painting. There's a book on the right hand side that's open out, and from the book you see this beautiful landscapes and waterfalls, and the landscape is actually coming out of the book into the view of the viewer and towards the viewer, and then you see the signs pointing left and right, this wooden sign, and it shows this pathway going to the right into the book, and that says creativity, which represents me creating my artwork and creating this book, because that book represents my sketchbook. So it's a book full of creations of paintings and drawings and illustrations and these other worlds that I'm going to create. And on the left hand side, there's another sign that says journey, and that is to show that that's the reality and that's the life and everything that we experience on a day-to-day that's inspiring. That's our nature, animals, flowers, sunsets, anything that inspires us from the beautiful world we live in, and all that beauty, inspiration from that taken and brought into my sketchbook, where I create and bring these visions or these ideas to life. And that's what also that little bird that's flying out of the book going into the landscape, that's just to show we're bringing a little bit of creativity into a reality, from bringing that beauty from that book into reality by finding that inspiration in life, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But that's what the idea of this painting was. And now I just decided to gather my supplies that I'm using for this painting, and that is some watercolors and some gouache paints. So you can see I've just gathered everything around, and I've got my swatches for the paints as well, which makes it just easier for me to look for a particular color if I'm looking for it. And then I've got everything around me. Now that's another tip that I can give you. If you are starting a new sketchbook or a new painting or drawing, or you're starting and looking at a blank page that you need to work on, just gather your art supplies that you're going to use for that piece. Not too many supplies, only what you're going to actually use. Sometimes just having those art supplies around your work area will just make you feel inspired and want to create. So then you just will start creating, and you'll be inspired by all the colors and the textures of the paints and whatever it is, and you'll just want to create with it. So that's something that I've also seen. Having everything around me and not having to go look for anything, preparing everything beforehand, just helps me to get started, because that's the main thing you need to do when you are creating, as any creative person will tell you, and all of us go through this, artist or any creative person. When you need to create, you have this feeling or fear in you that it may not go well and may not turn out the way you want, and you have these expectations. But at the same time, it's important to just start. Whether it's going to turn out good or bad, just start. I've worked on a couple of sketchbooks already, and I've just found the benefits of them so wonderful, because they are so helpful for me as an artist. I'm able to learn new techniques, try out different mediums, try drawing and painting different subject matter that I normally don't or usually don't, and even certain things that I do paint but I'm not good at, and to improve on those. So it just helps in so many different ways. And the main thing is to just get started, whatever it is that you're working on. Like, I knew this will either work or not, I'm not sure, but I just got started with it. Something new to me, it's out of my comfort zone, not something I usually would do, but I just wanted to try it out, and I'm actually happy with the results. There are certain things that I could have improved on or could improve on, but I've learned from it. That's the main thing. With the sketchbooks I've done in the past, I've had pages there and paintings and drawings that I've done that is actually not what I wanted it to be, and it's not what I went in when I decided to do the painting. I expected it to be a certain way, and it didn't turn out that way. But I still don't worry about those pages, because in a sketchbook, that's my sketchbook. It's my interpretation of whatever I want to, or vision I have, or whatever view I have of a particular thing, of a surrounding landscape, whatever it is. It's my basically my artistic vision of it, and me bringing it from reality or from a reference photo onto a blank piece of paper and bringing it to life in my sketchbook. And that's entirely your book for you to play around in, try different things, make mistakes, have good pages, have bad pages. That's what a sketchbook is there for. And once you let go of the fear of failing or the fear of not getting something right, because you'll never fail. Even if a page doesn't come out or a piece doesn't come out the way you want to, you learn from it. So it's not that you failed at that particular piece. Yes, it didn't turn out to what you expected it to be, but someone may even find it very nice, and someone will say it's beautiful, but in your eyes it's not what you expected. So never think that what you've created is a failure. No artwork could be a failure. Everything is a learning process and something you learn from. And also, as I said, you may not have enjoyed, or not enjoyed, you've enjoyed the process, but you may not have be happy with the results, but that actually may be, to someone else it may be nice. But at the end of the day, your sketchbook is for you. You don't have to show it to anybody. You keep it for yourself. It's your time. Your creativity is in this book, and you have, it's basically your outlet for you to relax, get creative, try new things, experiment, and just have fun. Basically, everything comes down to enjoying the process and just creating. So that's something I would definitely say. Just get started. Does not matter whether it's a big piece or just a sketch. Just open your sketchbook and start. So don't get too worried about the expectation of what the final result will be. Just work on the process and enjoy every step of the process of creating whatever it is that you enjoy creating. So you can also see I've done a couple of washes of color, and then I started to add some details for the images that are in the book. And I am going to basically come through a little later and get more, refine those more and add more details and add more elements to those scenes. But I just keep moving from one section to the other section, just so that I can get everything to tie in together. Like I said, this was my first page, and I was really nervous that whether it's going to turn out the way I wanted it to, but I just said, you know, go ahead and just start painting. So like I said, I've used watercolors and gouache for this because I needed a lot of opaque colors from my gouache, as well as some of the washes of the watercolors. So I used them together to create this entire piece. Another thing that was always a worry for me in a painting like this is, how do I get everything to tie in together and not look like, obviously it is a surreal painting, so it's not going to be realistic to that extent. It's going to have this, okay, but there's an ocean, there's a sunset, there's a rocky mountain, there's an underwater scene, there's a snowy capped mountain, there's a pathway and a waterfall, and there's all different elements to it. But I just wanted to try and see how I can get that all to tie in, and it tied in quite well. By the time I was done with this, I was actually quite happy with it. There are things that I could have improved on, or I could improve on in future, which is what I learned from this piece. But at the end of the day, I actually enjoyed the process. I spent over 4 hours on this piece, or on this page, and that's not including the sketch I did initially, just working in my sketchbook. And I actually lost track of time. I didn't realize where the time went when I finally realized, oh, it's, you know, it's getting to a late afternoon, evening, and I don't know where the day went, and I just was working on this piece, and I enjoy the process. I got into the flow of creating and just working on the piece and trying different things, fixing things, refining things, and it just was such an enjoyable process. As well as I was just like, it was sort of like a meditation. I get into the flow of creativity and I just create, and that was something that was really I really enjoyed about this, and that's what I just wanted to discuss in this video. Is just to help anyone that's feeling, a lot of people, including myself, when I see a blank canvas or a blank page, I get nervous to start off. But the only way you'll know whether it's going to work out the way you want or not is to start. Just get started with whatever you want to draw or paint, whatever you enjoy painting and drawing. Just get started, because at the end of the day, it's all about you developing yourself as an artist and enjoying the process as you go along, as you learn, and as you advance your skills, so that you can create artwork that you're proud of and that you enjoy looking at. And when you go through the sketchbook, you can actually reminisce about all the different aspects or things about the different pieces when you created them, relive those emotions you felt at those times. There's a lot of positive emotions that you'll get from it, because creating artwork is such a beautiful thing. You're turning a blank page into something beautiful, something that never existed before, and it's such an exciting thing to be able to do. So definitely just get started creating. Doesn't matter what you create, just create, enjoy the process, and don't have any fears of what the results will be at the end, or the final results will be. Just try it out. If it works out, good. If it doesn't, you'll try again and improve the next time. At least you know what you need to improve on, so you learn something from it. So definitely, I've wanted to just discuss this, and because I know a lot of people struggle with a blank page, and they struggle with having to complete a painting maybe, or just get started with something. And the main thing is just get started. Don't think, just get your art supplies and start creating. I hope you found this helpful. So I will leave you to some music so that you can enjoy the rest of my painting. And I just hope that I've inspired you to just get your supplies out, get your sketchbook, get your canvas, whatever it is, and just start creating, because it is a wonderful process and it just feels so good when you create. And once you get into the flow of creating, you just want to non-stop create. You're motivated to create more. You're inspired by your own work to create more artwork. So that's definitely something I've discovered working on any artwork. And the sketchbook is definitely the place to start if you want to just get out of that feeling of being scared to start, or being nervous to start. You're at least just getting your artwork started and your creative journey started. And that's what this page is all about. It's your journey to creativity and everything we experience in reality, the beautiful world we live in, the things around us. And that's what we want to bring into this piece, or that's what I want to bring into this piece, and show that your sketchbook is your outlet for all this creativity that you have inside you, that you just want to bring out onto blank paper or blank canvases. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks again so much for watching. Till the next one. Bye.